In a 2019 study published by the Journal of American Medicine, it was estimated that about $900 billion of what the U.S. spends on healthcare annually is waste. This equates to each person spending an unnecessary $2,500 per year on healthcare. Administrative cost counts for about 30% of that waste. And while clinical advancements are getting great visibility, there's a whole world of innovation happening in the back office of American healthcare aimed at eliminating that waste. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analytics, robotic process automation. Groundbreaking technologies being deployed to radically streamline the administrative functions of healthcare. This RCM Innovators series was created to shed a light on the unsung heroes of American healthcare. The hospitals, health systems, and back office leaders that are pioneering a new era of smarter systems, greater efficiency, lower cost, and ultimately, better care for healthcare consumers.
The thing that would change healthcare to me is more transparency.
I don't think there's a lot of public knowledge about the back office and healthcare organizations.
Healthcare consumers should be concerned about what's happening in the back office because this directly affects them.
There are parts of it that are clearly waste. There are administrative costs, and the administrative costs in healthcare have been very labor intensive.
The real waste really is the percentages of denials.
When you bill insurance companies and when you bill patients, you never get every dollar that you've billed. Patients can't pay, sometimes they're unwilling to pay. Insurers are always trying to reduce what they pay.
There's somebody on the receiving end of that record that then has to review it and process it.
You've got to have additional resources to do, clinical appeals, technical appeals. There may be more than one appeal that ends up getting done.
It creates an administrative burden for the health system. It creates an administrative burden for the insurance company. You think about a patient who has a long inpatient stay. We're sending concurrent clinicals every couple of days, yet when the patient is finally discharged and we submit the claim, in order for an insurance company to pay the claim, we then have to submit records that we already submitted throughout the patient's stay.
If you could eliminate all of that additional redundancy, it reduces the cost of the overall healthcare, and it reduces the cost to the patient.
We need to steer resources to less administrative, more towards patient care.
The coolest thing that has hit revenue cycle in the last 25 years is AI technology.
We're driving towards more and more automation, more and more innovation, and better outcomes.
There's just, in the last few years, this huge adaptation, this huge acceleration of AI-driven platforms, RPA-driven platforms, services platforms, different ways in improving revenue cycle. It's almost low-hanging fruit today. We can get better at it. We've got to apply new technologies to it, but it allows us to get better in the areas that count.
A lot of the technologies that we implement really help to reduce the overall cost of care.
You're basically taking out of the work stream the redundant steps that you're paying a very highly technical individual to do.
They can focus on the accounts that really need a human touch.
Automation and innovation is there to really be able to use the healthcare dollar towards improving clinical outcomes versus administrative tasks.
It's really trying to focus on how do you set up the defect-free claims so that they bill to the payer and it gets paid less patient liability and you're done.
Using AI and machine learning to not only automate tasks, but actually to learn about what needs to be done on an individual case and apply analytics to those cases, make changes or get the data that's needed from the system, insert it into the right place. We're changing how things are done.
The future for American healthcare looks bright.
This is the way we should be moving. More digital, more offline touches.
We need to have this data, and you can put it together, but it's stagnant. And it's not pulling in other sources.
Sharing information between systems is just so critical to all of this, to making it work, to making it get better.
It's all about the information that's provided and how we use that in a meaningful way to give back to our patients.
investing heavily more in this AI technology is really where the driver really is.
It's an investment in being a better institution in the future.
Automation and innovation in the revenue cycle doesn't have to be some grand idea. It can be a lot of little things.
What we've accomplished in the last year since we started this combined patient statement, we've increased our cash collections on the back end 28%, while still maintaining hold times around 1 minute. We collect 99.6% of our calls with abandon rate of 1%, and we're collecting about $2 million a month in the self-pay unit. And this is because we have the ability to reach more patients, it's a more personalized experience, and patients can self-serve.
If you just talk to your frontline team members, the people who do the work every day, who know what the problems are, whether they know it or not, they do. And your job as a leader is to facilitate that conversation, to then take that back and turn it into opportunity and strategy.
The RCM Innovators series is just getting started. Between now and the Becker's Conference this coming October, we'll be capturing stories from health system leaders all across the country. Stories about how they're pioneering a new era of healthcare with breakthrough back-office technologies. If you know an RCM innovator that you want to see featured, please email us at stories@rcminnovators.com.